Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of our talk show with another international renowned cricketer. He's none other than our former Indian captain, also a part of the World Cup winning squad in 1983. The person responsible for shaping up our Indian cricket, identifying the right talent at the right time and getting them on board. The list can go on. He is none other than our own Colonel, Mr. Dilip Vengsarkar. Well, welcome to the show, sir. It is so good to have you and good to see you once again. I hope things are
Thanks,
okay in
Arpit. Thank
Mumbai.
you very much. Yes. Yeah, thank you very much.
Fantastic. Sir, a lot of people keep calling you Colonel. ये हम लोग क्या है कि when we were kids, we have, once we grow up with watching cricket on TV or whatever it is, we have definitely not seen your games or seen you play. But how our fathers used to describe the way Indian cricket was then there are three names that come to mind, and one of them is yours, undoubtedly, Mr. Dilip Vengsarkar. Why would they call you? Why were they calling you Colonel? We want to know from you because we have not got a proper answer to this question.
Yeah, the thing is that I played my first match for Bombay. There was Irani Cup match in Nagpur in
Okay.
1975. I was picked for the Bombay for the first time, uh, and it was Bombay was the rest of India game, and it was my first innings for Bombay in the Irani Cup match. And hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, and then at Nagpur, Indian team was led by Bishan Singh Bedi, and they had the full Indian squad actually. They had Prasanna, Vishwanath, Madan Lal, Kirmani, all those guys were there. And it was a slow turning track. They batted first, and they were all over 220. And then Bombay batted. We had lost 3 wickets for 60 runs. And we lost followers like Parker, Gavaskar, and Sudhir Naik. And I went into bat at number 5. Ashok Mankad was there at that time. And I scored 185 deliveries. And I hit
Wow.
7 sixes in the process. 7 sixes at Bishan Singh Bedi and Prasanna. Lala Amanand was doing commentary at that time, all India Radio. And he was asked about me, and he said, okay, this boy bats like Colonel Naidu. So Colonel Naidu was the first India's captain in 1932-33. And he was also tall and he stood sixes and that sort of thing. So he said that he bats like Colonel Naidu. So press just got it up, and it is just there, the press only calls me.
Fantastic.
Anybody calls me actually, but that's because of that current. That is because of that incident actually happened during the Irani Cup match.
Get you. Look, the way people describe your batting, और लोग कहते हैं कि वो टाइम पे अगर 3 बैट्समैन खेल जाते तो इंडिया शायद मैच जीत जाता या मैच बच जाता. And those 3 players were Mr. Dilip Vengsarkar, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar, and Mr. Vishwanath. Now tell me how was the rest of the batting, or what kind of pressure you guys had on you during those times and against the mighty West Indian bowlers or whatever it is. We want to know from your experience how it was.
Yes, of course, the West Indies, I think, was a great side that those days. I think since 1975, I toured West Indies for the first time in 1976. Actually, I think since then they just dominated world cricket for the 15 years till 1990, and they had all the fast bowlers, and they had a great batting lineup. But apart from Vishwanath and Gavaskar and myself, I think Mohinder Ramanath was there. I think he was another gutsy player. The Anshuman Gaikwad also was there. So all were good cricketers, basically, and then with Kapil, I think came later on. But on that tour of 76, we had this batting lineup. But of course, I think West Indies was a very, very strong team. I think they had beaten Australia, England. I think all the teams absolutely, with ease, because four world-class fast bowlers, and besides almost 6, 7 sitting outside. So they had a great lineup.
Fantastic, fantastic. See, they used to call you the West Indian Wall. Am I correct? Because surprisingly, 6 of your centuries out of the 17 centuries that you have come against West Indies, against those mighty bowlers like Holding, Garner, Daniel, Croft, and Roberts. Am I correct? I've
Yes,
read this
yes,
somewhere.
yes.
So when the rest of the team would crumble against these mighty West Indian bowlers, and you go ahead and score 6 centuries against them, टेल मी हाउ वाज योर माइंडसेट. देखो अभी क्या होता है कि आज का जो गेम है और आज के प्लेयर्स का जो माइंडसेट है, दे आर अबाउट अटैकिंग क्रिकेट. आई मीन इवन इफ यू लुक एट टेस्ट क्रिकेट नाउ, it's all about attacking test cricket or whatever you call it. But during those times when the facilities were not as good as they are now, and of course all the teams had the same basically ways of preparation or whatever it is, how was it that you were so aggressive and a little different from the other players to go ahead and face these fast bowlers without any fear? I know Mr. Gavaskar also used to do the same, but you were more aggressive, as in terms of your batting. What was your mindset when you used to go and play against these great fast bowlers?
Yeah, well, they're world class. There's no question about it. They're world class, but you require skill and as well as guts as well. But then I think when you are young, I think you want to prove a point and you want to score the score against the best, and that is what happens with me as well. We also had some great batsmen, during our times. But against West Indies, only a handful of them used to play, because you have noticed that those who could play fast bowling were there, but those who could not play fast bowling, they were not there. As simple as that.
Right, sir. After after your game and after you retired from international cricket, a lot of players from your era went into commentary or whatever it is, to make their career out of it. You chose to develop youth cricket, and even now, I mean, when we were kids, we used to always hear about the Elf Academy, where players would come, get nurtured, get picked, and go to the next level. Tell us about your love towards the academy and how you have, again, it's about your mindset and the way you think and the way you have, progressed and succeeded in getting these young talents up there and out there.
Yeah, actually, when I retired in 1992, like every cricketer says that I want to give something back to the game. I also said the same thing. But actually, and I'm proud of the fact that I'm one of the very, very few who is giving back to the game. And I wanted to start a cricket academy and by coaching young cricketers, giving them platform. And that is very, very important. Then I approached the government. They gave me a plot of land in Oval Maidan. And then I spoke to my friends. They were in Elf, Dilip Vengsarkar, I think, who's the MD then that time. And now also, I think possibly he's still there. So Elf was a sponsor first. And then they were there for almost 12 years. And it's completely free of charge. We don't charge any money from the boys because the academy is sponsored. So we select the boys. We pick the very best. And many of them come from a very humble background. Many of them, I think they don't have shoes to wear, bats or whatever, because the kids are very expensive. And we provided the whole thing. And I was the one and who chose them, right from the word go, I think 1995 itself. And a lot of players, I think, played for Mumbai, I think age group tournaments, I think first class cricket, they played for India, they're playing in IPL. So a lot of players. And then I started another academy in Chembur. I think where you played last time. And it's sponsored by IDBI Federal Insurance Company. So there also because all those kids used to come to Oval Maidan in Churchgate. They would take long time by train to come to the academy and go back. So I requested the government to give me another plot of land I think, suburbs. So in Chembur, I got a plot of land, and I think there are lot of players from there also applying for under 19 India, under 23 India. So it's a great platform for them, And those who don't make to the Indian team or to Bombay team, they got jobs because a lot of bankers, lot of teams, I think, who would like to the services of these kids. They just request me, who's a good wicket keeper, who's a good opening batsman, who's a good fast bowler you have. We can employ them. So that's how they get the employment. And then in Pune, I started, third win in Pune. And Pune also the same thing. We get them the external platform. I think Varrock Industries it is sponsor of the academy. So we get them external platform. A lot of players are playing for India A under 19, India under 19, and of course from Maharashtra also in under 19, under 16, under 14. So the great thing, I think, over there thousands of children, I think, have been coached free of cost. And
wow.
I'm extremely happy and proud of the fact that all the coaches, support staff, Malis, everybody, they really work hard to make it a great success, and to provide platform to young cricketers who are very good. They may be coming from slums, or humble background. I think, but those who got merit, they got picked.
So basically, what you're trying to say is, players with the right aptitude and talent gets picked, then they get trained, nurtured, and then, of course, polished, and then they go to the next level. This is fantastic. I mean, when we talk about giving back to the game, so I think this is one of the very few examples that we see in our lives that you are actually giving something back to the game in terms of, getting these boys the right facilities and the training so that they can reach somewhere in their life. I mean, like you said, not necessarily they get picked for the Indian team or the IPL or the Maharashtra team, but at least they're getting employed, they get jobs. So, yeah. I mean, we didn't know this, but now that you mentioned, we get to know, and this is really fantastic, sir. I remember in 2012, you came to Kuwait, and we had a lovely time over here in terms of, training the kids in the facility that we had. That was great. Hopefully, we can do that again. Moving on.
Of course, I would love to, because I love the place. And there's so much talent in Kuwait also, which I had seen right from the under 12, under 14, under 16 boys. I think I was there for a couple of days, and I coached them for a while. And they're tremendous talent. But the only thing is the infrastructure. You have to build the infrastructure, and if you can play tournaments, if you can have academies, I think they'll get a platform.
Sarji, aap aiye idhar, and inshallah we have some good academies coming in, because okay, we as amateur cricketers or whatever it is, there's a limit we can do, but you as a professional and someone who has given so much to the game and has so much of experience, obviously, you are the right person to spot them, to get the right things done. And this is something we've been talking for a long time, isn't it? But it's just the way, Kuwait is, and we need to get something from the government over here as well. But from the last time that we met over here and today, as we speak, things have changed tremendously. I mean, we have much better facilities now. I mean, now would be the right time to even talk about it. Anyway, that is something we can talk over the phone. I'll give you a call and discuss this. Moving on with our talk. Now, let's move a little bit more forward. So first thing is that you started this academy for the children or whatever. And then you moved on and, spotting talents, nurturing them. Then you became one of the chief selectors, the chief selector of the Indian national cricket team, whereby we remember that Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia at that time appointed you as
yes.
the chief selector.
No, Sharad Pawar was there.
Mr. Sharad Pawar was there, right? And then the zonal system was eliminated. They're like, I think that I'm not too sure, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. See, the thing is that,
and then,
yeah.
Sorry. So my question is that during your selection era and that time, all these greats came into the team, like Dhoni, Raina. I remember this was in 2003, 2004, or even earlier. I want to know, what was your, criteria to get these players? From where did you get them, and how this change was adapted in the Indian national team?
After I retired, Dalmia asked me to become one of selectors. And I said, I don't believe in zonal system. So if you can change it, then I'll become. So again, he said, Dilip, I can't change zonal system. It's been there um, for years. And zonal representation is very, very important for every cricketer, for every selector. So I can't change it. So again, he asked me after a couple of years. So I said, sir, I think I'm just concerned about the zonal system because suppose if there is somebody I think who's not good enough in Eastern zone, say, he gets picked because only one cricket one the one player you have to pick for from that zone. But then I think he said, Dilip, I can't do that. Then of course I think 2006 I was asked again to lead the selection panel. And I said, I just can't stay outside. So I said, okay, I'll go in. So I became chairman of selection committee. I think before that, Dalmia appointed me as in charge, talent spotters. And I used to watch under 14, under 16, under 19 matches. BCCI basically interstate tournaments. And I have seen many players, those who are playing for India now at the moment. And we had a team of talent spotters. So we picked all those guys who are playing for India at the moment. And those selected, I think, were groomed in AC National Cricket Academy in Bangalore. So then, I've seen most of them, as you said, I think MS Dhoni, and Kohli and Raina and Uthappa, so many players. Again, I think Irfan Pathan and all those, Parthiv Patel, all those guys. And then what happened when I took charge in the selection panel, I knew all the players right from under 14 days. So it was much easier for me to select these boys. And then my selection committee was very good. I took over when I think India was at the 5th in ICC ranking in Test match cricket and in ODIs, and we had not played T20 format till then. And then after 2 years, India was #1 in ICC Test ranking, ODI ranking, and we had won the first T20 World Cup in South Africa. And
right.
Then we
in 2007, I think.
Yes, then we met MS Dhoni as a captain of the team. I think he was not even captain of his state team, Jharkhand, but we picked him because we liked the approach, the whole thing in a sense. So we just thought that he would be the best person to lead the side. I think Rahul Dravid, I think, quit the captaincy. And then we met Anil Kumble as a captain of Test matches on the tour of Australia. And then ODIs, MS Dhoni was a captain. Then we picked Virat Kohli at the age of 19 after he won the World Cup. And then later on, he was picked for the India A team. And in emerging players tournament, he scored 100. And we picked him at the age of 19. So a lot of players, I think, we had groomed, we had spotted, we had picked them. So it definitely helped because then in 2 years' time, I think India is the top.
Right. No, and it says, I mean, that thing never stopped after that. And look at the Indian cricket team now. They needed that push, which you gave them probably in the early 2000s. And then, like they say, it's all history. It's all. I mean, we can witness it now. The way they have performed themselves and the way they're playing. I mean, it's just amazing. Look, you play a great part in this. Why? Because you were fearless. You had one point, and you were persistent until that point of yours of removing the zonal system was agreed upon. Then you came in, because probably if they did not remove the zonal system and made you the selector, probably you could not have a free hand to do what you wanted to do. I mean, you know how you used to bat in cricket. Exactly. आप जैसे batting करते हो free hand without any fear, you did the same thing with the selection process, because your selection process was so different from the previous years that it could have gone either side. But the man with the like they say, the right eye to spot the talent cannot go wrong, and that is exactly what we witnessed. I mean, there is, when we have a talk show with you or anyone else for that matter, there's one thing that can never be missed, and that is your 3 consecutive century at the Lords.
Yeah.
which everyone
Yes.
knows. And I don't think that record is broken until today, has it? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe.
No, we don't think that anyone else has hit three consecutive centuries at Lords. We want to know from you again during those times. Things were different. They're not as the facilities is not as good as what it is today. But with whatever you had, you managed that, and those tracks are not similar to our Indian tracks at all. And for you to go ahead and do that was magnificent. So my question to you, sir, was that the mindset with which you played against West Indies should have been a little different when you played at the Lords against that English side. So can we know from you what was it then when you hit the first century, the second? We have not seen those matches, but were you as aggressive at that time as well?
No, Asif, the thing is that everybody has his own technique, everybody's own skills levels. The thing is, what is more important is to adapt to conditions. If you are playing in Australia, you're playing against bouncy wickets. If you in West Indies, you are playing against the fast bowlers in the fast wickets. If you are playing in England, I think you get cold and gloomy atmosphere. The ball moves around quite a lot, and how you adapt yourself to wickets, to bowling, into situations, is what matters, and that is up to every player. Um, everybody talks about technique and skills level or whatever. Everybody has different skill level and techniques. But how you adapt and how you score runs, that is what matters in the end. So
Right.
in England in '79, I think it was my first tour of England, and everybody I think was expecting me to score runs and that sort of thing. And I scored 100 at Lords. See, there are some grounds in the world where you feel, that you would score runs. And there are some grounds you feel you won't score runs. I mean, the vibes actually, basically, if you enter Lords, if pull-outs, the atmosphere is electrifying. And you want to perform. I think it brings the best in you. Many players, I think they just get overawed possibly by the atmosphere. But I loved playing at Lords. I scored my first 100 in 1979. And then later on, again 1982, when I went there, again I scored 100, 157 not out, 157 out. And then 86, I scored 100. The test match, I think, at Lords, where India won for the first time a test match at the Lords. So that was a great thing. And every time I scored 100, I enjoyed it. And about third 100 was a tough one because we had lost wickets in the end. I had Maninder Singh, I think, to partner me when I was in '95, and I scored 100, and that was a great thing. And then we took a big lead against England, and then we, of course, then Kapil Dev, Chetan Sharma, they bowled really well. They got all the wickets, and we won for the first time at Lords. So, but again, I scored 4 test matches in Delhi, Firozshah Kotla. And
Oh, wow.
that three against West Indies and 1 against Pakistan in 1979, and 3 against West Indies.
I think against Pakistan that was at 146, right?
That's right, against Pakistan. I think that team was led by Asif Iqbal, and they had Imran Khan, Sikandar Bhakt. They're a great side, actually. Those Majid Khan and Mudassar were the opening batsmen. Sadiq Mohammad was there. Zahir Abbas was there. Javed Miandar were there. Imran Khan, all big stars were there. It was a great series, actually.
Nice. Look, with you, sir, the talks can go on and on. Do you still have that bat with which you scored your 3 centuries at the Lords?
Yes. I have a bat with which I scored 100 in 1986, which India won. So I kept that bat and in the glass. This thing, it's with me only. And a lot of bats where I scored 100, they are still there with me.
Okay. At
Yeah.
least next time I come to Mumbai, I'll come to take a photograph of those bats with you.
Sure. Anytime. 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 You're most
Thank you,
welcome,
thank you,
Asif.
thank you so much. It was look, we are nearing towards the closure of our show. Before we end, we would like to invite one guest who will have a small chat with you, and then we can end our show with all the knowledge that we have gathered from you, and it was really fantastic to have you. And hopefully we can have this again too, because we have not even covered 10% of your cricketing life, isn't it? We hope to see you soon again. Just 1 second. Do we have a guest? Mr. Hussein Arsiwala, you're welcome to the show. And I will leave, I'll leave it up to you what you would like to ask.
Yes, Hussein. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you, sir? Thank you for
Good,
your
good, good.
you had given your ground to us, sir, for our SBT time. So
Oh,
I
you were
was
there
in
at the ground. Okay.
communicating with Amit, sir.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes,
Thank you,
definitely.
sir, for the help.
I hope you had a good time there playing on that wicket because it's excellent wickets we have.
The ground is very good. The quality is very good. The
Yes,
Marlies and people,
yes,
everyone helped us a lot.
yes.
Sir, just a question that uh, for our youngsters, what is the basic knowledge or information or any tip which or guidance you can give us that how he can start with cricket, sir, on field, sir? The basic things.
So basic thing is I think they must have aptitude for cricket. That's the most important thing. Unless they have aptitude, I think you just can't make a cricketer like this. You know, aptitude. Suppose if they have aptitude, then again they must have passion for the game. I know passion is very important. And if you have passion and aptitude, then you can just go on playing cricket. The important thing is that you must play in as many matches as possible, as many tournaments as possible, because there you develop a mental toughness and how to score runs against the different attack, um, 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 different wicket, different situations. So these are the things you learn only in matches. And when you practice, you must have match simulations. Just don't have net play just like that, but have match simulations. So it will help them because as if you're playing in the match, so that they can improve only in the matches. So if you can name more and more tournaments, it will definitely help. In Mumbai, we have got 150 official tournaments. Um,
Yes.
and my academy conducts almost 16 tournaments all over Maharashtra. So they get to play a lot of matches. So that is why they improve much faster.
Yes.
Sir जी अभी हमारे में क्या है, we have a Bora community which plays cricket and they are very forthcoming in improving their game and things like that. ये जो SB T10 की बात कर रहे थे जहाँ पे आपने आपका ग्राउंड दिया हुआ था, here I think teams from various countries came into Mumbai. All of them were Bora community people and they played this tournament. The knockouts and the quarters, semis and the finals were held at Wankhede, whereby about 20 to 30,000 people had turned up on
Wow.
in that ground on the 26th of January. It was our Republic Day. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And it was such a massive turnout. And by the way, Kuwait won that tournament. आप जो कह रहे हो ना
Oh,
Kuwait में
lovely.
talent है, Kuwait actually won that tournament. All right. So we need to do something. We need to do something where through your academy, our Bora kids can learn something or come forward. I'm sure there is so much talent. It's just the right guidance that they need to enter into your academy. And then, of course, if they're talented, they can come. So maybe, going forward, we can streamline this process.
See, Asif, the thing is that if you can get a team of youngsters, say under 19 or under 16 or under 14 for that matter, I can organize matches in Mumbai at my academy. I got 2-3 grounds in Mumbai. Then we can play other bigger grounds, Bombay Gymkhana. Then we can play at CCI. All those grounds we can play. And you can play only in South Mumbai also. So, and besides, they can practice also. They can be coached also, but they can play matches. That's important. They can play at least 6-7
Right.
matches. You can come for 10 days or 12 days or whatever. I can organize matches for you. There's no issue at all. So if you can get the team, I think just give me the time also, and I can arrange the fixtures in 10 days time. No issue
Fantastic.
at
So
all.
what we'll do now is कि जो हमारा SB Burhani Sports मुंबई की जो कमेटी है उनसे बात करके we'll connect with you and then we'll take this forward inshallah.
Sure. No problem. Anytime. Any type of cricket,
Yeah?
anytime. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Hussein bhai. Thank you for coming. And hopefully we'll have much more of these talks going forward. Dilip sir, thank you so much for your time. It was so fantastic to have you. Oh, by the way, sorry, before we end, this is Ibrahim Diwan, who is on screen. He plays for our cricket team, Pro Sports
I can't
United
see
in
him
Kuwait.
actually.
He's a fast bowler. Guys, are you on screen? Ibrahim, are you on screen?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Mr. How are you? It's an honor.
Yeah. Thanks, Ibrahim.
Sir, कैसे हो सर?
बस ठीक ठाक. आप कैसे हैं?
Alhamdulillah, was all well. Sir, अभी I am a fast bowler. Being a fast bowler, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है आपसे कि अभी जो नया रूल आया that you cannot spit, you cannot use your saliva. तो अभी उसका ऑल्टरनेटिव क्या है सर? अभी वो मैंने पढ़ा था बीच में कि अभी you can use your sweat, but being अभी क्या बोलते हैं, I am very used to my spit. तो अभी उसका ऑल्टरनेटिव क्या करेंगे? क्या रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस आने वाले हैं अभी?
See, actually, alternative I can only see that you have to bowl really fast. You don't bother about spin or whatever. You don't bother about reverse swing. Just bowl fast and beat the batsman in the air by sheer speed.
उसको ट्रेन करेंगे हम दिलीप सर.
In 1983, India hosted West Indies. And Wesley Hall was the captain of Wesley Hall was the manager of the team. So all the journalists asked him, sir, I think we have got very slow wickets. How your fast bowlers will cope up against slow and the slow wickets. He said, we're not bothered about it. The wickets and the slow wickets and dead wickets, that sort of thing. We beat them in the air.
Sure.
Ibrahim, you better practice this for
Ibrahim, so you just develop the speed, and you just beat them in the air by your sheer speed. Don't bother about speed and that sort of thing.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Asif bhai.
Thank you,
guys. Why don't the team come into one frame so that we can say a final goodbye to Dilip sir, and we'll end the show. This is our backend team, Mr. Murtaza. He owns a media company in Kuwait, and that's obviously Kutub on the screen.
Yeah.
And they would like to say, a thank you note to you. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, everybody. I think you have been fantastic. I hope to talk to you along with you. I think more often. Asif is always there. If you can just give me a call, I'll be there. Just having word with you anytime.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Take care, sir.
I would personally like to thank the entire team to make the show possible. Thank you, Dilip sir, for coming on board and giving us all the knowledge and the insight of cricket, of Indian cricket. And hopefully we'll have many more of this in the coming, future. Until then, stay safe and God bless. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Asif. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.